Welcome to the Rashid Stadium in Dubai for the concluding match in Group D of the Asian AFC Champions League Two campaign. At the Rashid Stadium, it's top versus bottom. Shabab Al Ahli of the United Arab Emirates host Uzbek visitors Nasaf, who prop up the table, as you can see. Just the 4 points from their 5 games, 10 for the host nation. Well, Shabab Al Ahli are looking to see if they can secure top spot. 24 degrees C in the evening in Dubai. So warm but not too hot conditions for this game between, as said, the table toppers Shabab Al Ahli and Nasaf, who are bottom of the group. The top 2 teams going through from Group D to the knockout rounds have already been decided. Shabab Al Ahli booking their place in the round of 16 when coming from 2 goals down to beat Al Hussein in Jordan by 3 goals to 2 last time around. Coach Paulo Sousa changed things up tactically in his side, turned matters around right at the end of the game. And despite beating Al Hussein, they're joined in the next round. There he is, Paulo Sousa, by the Jordanian side, who had done enough already before match day 5 to qualify, and that's thanks to results elsewhere going their way last time out. And that was specifically because of the failure of a Nasaf to beat Kuwait SC, or Kuwait Sporting Club, at home on match day 5, losing 2-1 instead, when victory would have kept the Uzbek side in contention. So it's first place that's up for grabs today. Shabab Al Ahli needing to win to be sure of maintaining top spot, and that is very much the aim they have. For whoever tops the group will meet a group runner-up when the round of 16 gets underway in February. The group winners will also play the second leg of their round of 16 games at home. As for who they'll meet, well, that will be decided when the draw for the knockout phase of the Champions League 2 takes place a week tomorrow, on Thursday, the 12th of December. So the Asian Football Confederation flag and the branding on the ball as we wait for these 2 sides to come out for what will be the very last game in Group D, in Group D, in this inaugural AFC Champions League 2 campaign. Well, Shabab Al Ahli have never won a continental title. They did reach the 2015 AFC Champions League final, only to be beaten there by Guangzhou Evergrande of the People's Republic of China. That was when Shabab Al Ahli was simply known as Al Ahli, because it was in 2017 that that club Al Ahli merged with Al Shabab, another club, Dubai CSC, to make the team we see today. Shabab Al Ahli. The refereeing crew today from Iran. The man in the middle, Mouwoud Ponyadifad, as we see in blue. The visitors from Uzbekistan. The last game for them of their season, and what a season it has been. Uzbek Super League champions for the very first time in their history, which may make light of the poor form that they have put together in this Group D. But their coach in the run-up to today's game saying that they're hoping to finish their season in the best manner possible, and they will have their eyes on greater things than the AFC Champions League 2, because their historic inaugural title in Uzbekistan means that they have qualified for next season's AFC Champions League elite competition, and therefore they may well see this campaign as a perfect preparation for stepping up for next season's Asian Club football competition gets underway. A long way to go before that happens, of course. The finals, not only the AFC Champions League Elite, but also the AFC Champions League 2, scheduled to be taking place in May. The fans holding those Uzbek flags, of course, will not be there. But the ones behind of Shabab Al Ahli, very much hoping that they can make it that far. And when they reached the 2015 AFC Champions League final, they did meet none other than today's opponents, Nasaf, twice in the group stages, drawing at home and winning in Uzbekistan. Could that be an omen as we see the side today for Shabab Al Ahli, who've already wrapped up qualification? 6 changes for them, as Coach Paulo Sousa takes the opportunity to blood some youngsters and give call-ups to others. Among the changes in goal, Rakan Al-Menhali, who's come in for his first start. So we see confirmation of the all-Iranian officiating crew. Walid Abbas on the left of your screen in the white, the veteran skipper. And he's coming into the side today, the 39-year-old. On the left of your screen is the coach of FC Nasaf. Incredibly, he has been in charge for well over a decade, Ruzikil Bediev. And he has also made multiple changes to his side today, 5 in all, amongst those coming in: Ergashev in goal, Sultan Muradov at the back, Ramatov, the defensive midfielder, Victor, the second striker, and Stanojevic in central midfield. And among those dropping out, well, an enforced change in goal, because Abdulvahid Nematov is suspended after picking up a red card in the 95th minute of Nasaf's last clash with Kuwait SC, a game that they lost 2-1, just as they have done their last 3 games in the Champions League Two group stage. Their only win, Nasaf, despite being bottom of the group, has come against Shabab Al Ahli, the team at the top of the table. And they left it very late when they did so on match day 2. They were trailing with just 7 minutes to go. That's when they equalised, and then in stoppage time, their striker grabbed his second of the game to wrap up their only win. Zoran Marušić, the man with the double. And that is still the only defeat for Shabab Al Ahli in the group stage so far. Can Nasaf repeat the feat? Or will Shabab Al Ahli do enough today to make it through as group winners? A victory will take them through, secure it. Should they get a draw, they will be hoping that the result between Kuwait SC and Al Hussein, in a game that has already kicked off in Kuwait City, will be going their way. But their fate to top the table in their own hands. So we are moments away, just a minute or two before this game gets underway. And well, in goal for Nasaf, Umid Ergashev. He's been unused on the bench for the 5 previous games. Even when Nematov was sent off last time around, there was barely any time to make the substitution, so the frustration continued. But he does get 90 minutes to finish now. Igor Golban, another hugely experienced figure on the opposing side of Abbas at the other end. Golban, 34 years old, often captain of the side. Mateus Lima, we were seeing there, the striker with Shabab Al Ahli, also known as Mateu Sau, but Mateus Lima, he's got 3 goals. Would he be able to add to that tally today? So we are underway on match day 6 between Shabab Al Ahli of the United Arab Emirates, who currently lead Group D of the AFC Champions League 2, against Uzbek side Nasaf. And Nasaf are in blue, all in blue, playing from left to right, the hosts. Shabab Al Ahli in the all-white strip and playing from right to left. And we talked about some of the experience in the side. Walid Abbas, that's said, at 39 years of age in the centre of defence. Well, coming into the side today are some who have very, very little experience. Yassine Boualam, who's wearing number 3, and will play in the midfield. The Moroccan, this is just his second appearance for Shabab Al Ahli today. And up front for the team in white, Mohamed Juma, just 18 years of age, yet to play in the group stages, and has very, very few games for Shabab. Nonetheless, he has made his debut for the United Arab Emirates, doing so in June, and starting a World Cup qualifier against Nepal, which the UAE won by 4-0. He was not amongst the scorers, but he's got a really important opportunity today to get vital experience in playing in top-level Asian club competition. Here he is, that is his first touch. Mohamed Juma down the line and just kept in play. And then Igor Golban finding touch for Nasaf. Paulo Sousa, a familiar figure on the field when he was representing Portugal with considerable aplomb in years gone by. He only won the European Champions League with the likes of Juventus of Italy, Borussia Dortmund of Germany, doing so in 1996 and 1997. 2 consecutive trophies with 2 different clubs in consecutive years. Highly impressive stuff, and he's been in good form with his side, Shabab Al Ahli, not just topping the group in the Champions League 2 campaign, but going pretty well in the UAE League as well, because Shabab sit second in the Emirati table on 19 points, 2 behind Sharjah, but crucially with a game in hand. And it's surely with some of their league form in mind and the fact that this group has been largely secured in terms of qualification that he's been happy to make a few changes today. An early injury for Akmal Mozgovoy, who sits deep in that midfield, the 25-year-old for Nasaf. Dmitry Berdiev, the coach, has an extraordinary record with this side. He's been in charge for nearly 5,000 days. He took the reins back in 2012 to the 53-year-old, and he's had more than 400 games in charge of Nasaf. But this surely his greatest season so far, as he has steered his charges to their first ever league title. Considerable reward for his years in the game. Yuri Cesar, one of those who's come into the side today, as Shabab try to play it through the middle. Broken up. As Nasaf come down the right-hand side through Muradbek Ramatov. Early touches for Ergashev, but not the ones he'd have wanted and given away. And he presented Shabab with an opportunity, and that's exactly what he wouldn't have wanted, to calm and settle the nerves in the opening minutes of these games. This game, Umid Ergashev, 25 years of age. Joined the club 7 years or so ago. This is 70th appearance in all that time. We see the danger man for Shabab, Sada Azmoun, the Iranian international, to another Iranian international, Saeed Ezatollah, just knocking that in, and that man, given his mistake of just a moment or so ago. Here it is, straight at your opponent, the very last thing you want, but the strike coming in lacked any real conviction. But can we be surprised when we're talking about the inexperience as well of Boualam, who had the shot? This is his second appearance, as I said. His previous one came in the UAE Pro League last season, December of 2023, so he's had to wait nearly a year. Stepping up from the reserves in July, de Boualam. But he'll be relishing the opportunity on what looks a lovely surface for tonight's game. Flicked inside, but broken up by Shabab. Sada. Gomez trying to make some ground on the left-hand side. The Brazilian, here he is. Into Sada. Played the last three, Igor Gomez. And he's got some defending to do now. Victor, just knocking it back to Jabahir Sidikov, who just sits in behind the main striker. Switch of play from Mozgovoy, back on his feet after that earlier knock. Again, Mozgovoy. Victor goes down. And play goes on. Sidikov. Golib Gubelayev. Happy to go back to the keeper, Gaibulayev. On the ball again and looking just to clear it away. Under pressure from Shabab. They certainly seem to be enjoying the early stages. And there's a man wearing a Shabab Al Ahli shirt with a Uzbek scarf around his neck. Forced out of it in midfield, and an opportunity for Shabab to come forward. Striker goal deflected into the arms of Egashev, but that was an early indication of what this man is all about. Mohamed Juma, I say man, he's really a boy, as said, just 18 years of age, but as he came forward he just had one thought in mind, and that was to go straight for goal. The deflection took the sting out of it, but an early sighter for Juma. Wasn't in the squad at all for the first 4 games in the group. Unused last time around, as here he comes, Marušić, the danger man for Nasaf, and just muscled off it by Iago Santos, one of several Brazilians in the Emirati side. Well, the challenge on Gaibulayev from Boualam. Just too strong. It was just a slightly heavy touch from the Moroccan as he came inside, and then I think in his frustration and desperation to get the ball, he just clipped Gaibulayev, the 28-year-old. Sultan Muradov. Ramatov just fighting and battling with Cesar, and Cesar wins the battle. And Boualam just carves it down. The 19-year-old. Switch of play. Now to Gomez. That's with Barcelona's youth academy was Gomez. Sidikov, Marušić, just taken off his toes, a really important touch that by Iago Santos. Good patient football on the floor from Nasaf. Sidikov just goes down, but no suggestion of an infringement from the Iranian official. Marko Stanojevic looking down the line, trying to bring in Ramatov again. Well, he's making his first start today, Ramatov. Been involved in all the games previously as a sub, the man wearing number 6. Nice ball in behind, and here's an early opportunity for Marusic. Gets his shot away against the post. Excellent attempt on goal with so little to work at for Marusic. And he was desperately unlucky not to open the scoring and add to his 3 goals previously in the group. Nice first touch, took it slightly away, but he still had the presence of mind to get a good angle shot in on goal. And Shabab Al Ahli remain unbeaten thanks to the width of the post. And this man, Al Manhali, will be mightily relieved. No, Marusic's first touch just took him slightly too wide, expertly picked out by Stanojevic. One serve to another. Despite the fact that Shabab top the table and Nasaf prop it up, it is actually the visitors who have the better defensive record, conceding just 7 this campaign as opposed to the 9 of the Emirati side. At the other end, though, it is a different story. Just 5 goals from their 5 previous games in Group D for Nasaf. Shabab, 14 goals they have scored, and they've spread them around as well. 10 different scorers contributing those 14 goals. Whereas this man in your screen, Marusic, as we see the pass, and good movement as well. It was just that touch that just took him away a little bit too much. Eye for goal. And you can see the disappointment. Good start this, though, from the Uzbek champions. Putting the home side under some early pressure. Moscovoy. Golban just plays it out to Gaybulev, who's very happy just to play it back into Ergashev. The more touches in goal for him, the better. And Juma, the man clipped on this occasion. And a word from the Iranian official with Sherzod Nazrullayev coming in from behind. Juba didn't know that was coming. Caught on the ankle and caught by surprise, no doubt, as well. .26 years of age now, Nazrullayev, the Uzbek international. Go down the line, half-hearted appeals possibly from Mateus Lima for some sort of infringement. Pushing and shoving, but very little in it. Boualan, the man going down. Sidikov, the man with whom he was clashing. Paulo Sousa said before the game that he was just very happy to use this as an opportunity to give his side something different, something extra, he called it. Introducing players. It's going to be the first yellow card of the game. And like any player, he will argue his case. But Gaibuleyev, well, you can see on your screen that he will miss the next match. And that is going to have to be something that spills over into next season. The challenge on Matthäus Lima. He was actually booked in the first game against Shabab Al Ahli, Gaibuleyev. And he has transgressed once again. Cesar with the opportunity to see if Shabab can counter some of that early Nasaf pressure with some of their own. Well, it's far too close to the goalkeeper. That surely was very late. And it took the referee a little bit of time to make his decision. Matthäus Lima steaming in on Sultan Muradov. And as you can understand, the Nasaf players, moments after their own side picked up a booking, stressing the point that they feel that that man, Matthäus Lima, should be going into the book as well. He slid in from a long way. Not too much contact because Sultan Muradov managed to get his foot largely out of the way. And I think you could easily make a case for that being reckless and out of control from the Shabab striker, as it is just a talking to for Matthäus Lima. And he will have to be careful for the rest of the game. Unlike Gaibuleyev, he does have bigger fish to fry. When 2025 gets underway, the round of 16 takes place in February. All the knockout stages of this competition are two-legged apart from the final in May, and after February's round of 16, the quarter-finals take place in March, both semis in April, and then the final, as I said, a one-legged affair in the month of May, and the winners qualify for next season's AFC Champions League Elite in the preliminary stage. A huge carrot for all the sides bidding to win the trophy in this very first year of the AFC Champions League 2, which did replace the AFC Cup, the forerunner, and a trophy that has been won by Nasaf in 2011. They lifted the title for the one and only time in their history. Funny enough, they beat Kuwait SC, who they met in the group stages this time around in the final. They almost repeated the feat 3 years ago, only to lose to Al Muharraq of Bahrain, a fairly comprehensive 3-0 defeat for Nasaf on that occasion. But he will be plotting his Champions League elite campaign for next season. He's got a lot of time, the remainder of this interclub campaign, to see and watch the teams that he'll be up against. Shabab trying to play it through the middle. We've yet to see Saada get into the game, the Iranian. He can unpick a defence. A fairly muted start on the side in white so far. Nicely played and opened up by Victor. There's Mozgovoy. Spreads it out to the far side. Gaibuleyev. Stanijevic. bit of space for Sidikov, who's had to drop very deep, and said he likes to operate much higher up the field, just behind Marušić. Well, this is nice passing and possession and patient football from Nasaf. And it ends with Victor being felled. And one Brazilian going down under the challenge of another. Iago Santos, the man to bring it down. That man on your screen, 29 years of age now. One goal from his 2 appearances so far. Well, neither keeper yet to be forced into a save as we approach the end of the first quarter. Swinging back, hacked high into the sky. Breaks free, a little chance here for Shabab. Sada, eyes in the back of his head, plays it in to Mateus Lima, who opens the scoring in stunning style. Took that superbly well. In Mateus Lima, his 4th goal of the campaign, and he was expertly fouled by Sada Azmoun. And Shabab Al Ahli, who have shown little as an attacking threat so far, have shown just what they are capable of. Cesar led the charge for them, and then it was crucially picked up here, and then they had men over 4-on-2. And look at that ball round the corner into Mateus Lima. Knew exactly what he was doing as Ergashev rushed out. The pass made it, and the finish was exquisite. Knew exactly what he was doing, the 20-year-old. And he has his 4th goal in the group. And he came up through the youth ranks at Flamengo, did Mateus Lima. One of the biggest clubs in Brazil, of course. He moved to Shabab Al Ahli in July of last year. And although he's been finding it tough in the league, no goals so far this campaign. It's a very different story in the Champions League. And despite Nasaf's patient play and better possession, they find themselves a goal behind. And what was Shabab's first real attack, started by this man, Yuri Cesar. Stopped this time around by Stanijevic. Stanijevic again. Nice passing football again from Nasaf on the floor. And just a heavy touch there from Mozgovoy. And now Mohamed Juma just to pick his pocket and to settle Shabab down again as they look forward to coming forward. Abbas. Gomez. Sada dropping very deep from his nominal centre-forward position, which he starts moving back to now, the Iranian. Nice driving run down the right-hand side. Men in the middle if they can find it. Here is Sada, striker goal. Doesn't travel too far. Yuri Cesar will pick it up. Gomez. 4 in the middle in white. In the cross goes, and just a whisker away from Mateus Lima's toe. And an opportunity for both the Brazilian and his side to score their 2nd of the game. That was it. Perhaps he didn't think it was going to be coming his way. Boualam did really well to win the header. Not too much pace on the cross. And he just didn't quite read the way the ball was going to go. Did Mateus Lima. Victor. Forward to Maricic, and that's easily cut out. Saeed Suleiman. Gomez looking for Sada. Sada looking at the officials, perhaps insinuating that he felt there was an unfair challenge on it. That's a nice little touch from Sidikov. But he can't travel too far before he's dispossessed. Saeed. Abbas. Iago Santos. Well, he's in behind. When he's muscled off the ball. Excellent defending from Saeed Suleiman, who's come into the side today, the 25-year-old. Really good strength, just to ensure that went out of play. And there was no danger, despite the fact that Nazrulayev had briefly got in behind. Twice in as many minutes. There's just been a little glimmer of an opening for Nasaf. And it's just been shut down fairly quickly by the hosts. Gomez up to Cesar. Among the two Brazilians in the side. Saida, one of two Iranians. And here is Gomez again, the 23-year-old. Up the line to Sadar. Well, he's normally so sure-footed, and his passing is normally unerring, but he got that wrong for once. Sada Azmoun, 29 years of age now. Approaching 100 caps for Iran, but we're looking at Mateus Lima. His goal separates the side. Juma looks incredibly comfortable for one so young. Gomez. Saeed. Sada. Suleiman. It looked like a handball, and that's the appeal that's being made by Juma, but I think his back was to goal, and he didn't know that it was going to be hitting his arm. So the Iranian official maybe play on. That's nice skill from Mozgovoy. Victor, he gets it back, Mozgovoy, and tries to open it up. And does so. Ramatov. Well, there's precious few men in blue and plenty in white as Nasaf came forward there. Not helped with the fact that Victor went down earlier in the move. Looking forward again, and here's a chance for Nasaf. Oh, what a goal that is! And they draw level in absolutely stunning style. Akmal Mozgovoy, with as sweet a strike as you'll see, knew exactly what he was doing, curling it inside the right-hand post after a mistake from that man, Walid Abbas. And they're not behind for long, the Uzbek side. And they have drawn level quite superbly. Well, the pass forward should have been cut out. Instead, it was put on a plate for Mozgovoy. And this angle should show us the bend on it. They must have been starting fairly wide outside the post and then came back in. Hit to perfection from Mozgovoy. You can see the care as well, and not a chance whatsoever for Al Menali on his group stage debut. And they are dancing in the stands, perhaps a little bit more than they were, because they've been dancing for, well in excess of half an hour even before the game kicked off. Well, what a month it has been for Akmal Mozgavoy, because it was his goal that secured Nasaf their first ever Uzbek Super League title. It came in early November. When they wrapped up the title with 3 games to go by going 10 points clear. Mozgavoy scoring against Tashkent's Lokomotiv. Shabab trying to restore their lead. Sada on his right foot and takes a deflection. And Shabab are in front once again. And Sada showing exactly what he's all about, his 3rd goal in the group. And he didn't need too much invitation to get his shot away. The deflection certainly wasn't going to help Ergashev in the Nasaf goal. But it's the composure and calm that this man, the 29-year-old, brings to his play. Just stepped away. The first touch was good, and then the 3rd, well, the deflection obviously playing a key role, but he found the time to get his shot away in a fairly crowded penalty area. And we played a little over 30 minutes, and we've already had 3 goals. Ergashev absolutely wrong-footed by the deflection, going to his right and the ball spilling to his left. And Nasaf once again find themselves behind. It's been non-stop attacking football so far. Juba down the line to Cesar, men in the middle again. Crucial touch, but this could be 3. And it is. And Sada has his 2nd of the game. 2 in as many minutes for the Iranian international. And in the blink of an eye, this game is beginning to stretch away from Nasaf. They only drew level, what, 3-4 minutes ago? And now they find themselves 2 goals behind, and no wonder he's sporting a broad grin, Sadar Azmoun. Lovely ball down the line, inviting Cesar to deliver the cross. Not the best bit of goalkeeping from Ergashev. Now, when he just knocked it back into play in the middle of the penalty area, Sadar was not going to miss an opportunity like that. A man who has over 50 international goals for the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's his 2nd of the game and his 4th in Group D. So both the front men for Shabab Al Ahli now on the score sheet. Sadar having scored 2 and made the other for Mateus Lima. The goal that broke the deadlock, opened the scoring, and has sparked a relative flood of goals. Tough on Nasaf, who do not deserve to be 2 goals down, but who have been punished by some top-class finishing from the Emirati side in white. Saeed. Juma just dropping his shoulder and skipping away. Mateus Lima picks it up and charges forward again. Nazarolayev is the wrong side of him, and Mateus Lima just checks back. Saeed doesn't get the connection right. Ramatov will bring this away for Nasaf. They just need to get a foot on the ball, the Uzbek side. They just take some of the sting out of Shabab Al Ahli, who look extremely confident now, and who came to life just in the last few minutes after a very quiet opening to the game. Saeed Ezzatullahi, the 28-year-old midfielder for Shabab Al Ahli. Suleiman back to Ahmed Ali. Bulayev. Stanijevic, bit of space down on the left-hand side. Into Marušić. Sidikov will pick this up. And Stanijevic will let fly. Oh, excellent strike from the Serb. It just didn't come down quickly enough, but it was dipping with real venom. And struck with venom as well. 36 years of age now, Stanijevic. Widely travelled, really has been around the block lots of time in Kazakhstan, spells in Moldova, Azerbaijan, Saudi Arabia, in Greece as well. And seemingly seeing out his career in Uzbekistan. And he joined Nasaf 4 years ago. The man wearing the skipper's armband for the men in blue. Gomez into Sada. Saeed. Juma. Sada just loves to drop a little deeper, trying to find the space. Just lauding Stanijevic, but I think that's Suleiman he's caught on the ground. Very much trying to explain that there was no malice involved, where you can see that he got, let's say, the metatarsal area of Suleiman's right foot with his studs. Doesn't look pretty. That man, Paulo Sousa, seemingly issuing instructions rather than making too laboured a point about the challenge from the Serb. He's only been in charge since July, Paulo Sousa. He's lost just the 2 games so far out of his 17. This is 18th. His points per game tally with Shabab Al Ahli is the best of any club he's taken charge of. And there's now quite a few for Paulo Sousa, the 54-year-old. Plenty of clubs in England: Leicester, Swansea, Queen's Park Rangers, also the likes of Fiorentina in Italy, Bordeaux in France, Flamenco even in Brazil. And he even has made it as far to the Chinese Super League with Tianjin Quanjian. Coaching since the late 2000s, having retired from playing in 2002. Loves the 4-4-2, and he must love having players of the calibre of Matthias Lima and Sada to lead the line. Whereas Bulayev is clearly in some discomfort. Looks to be a problem with his left calf. And just got a real knock on it as he delivered the cross. Spent all his career at Nasaf, Nazrulayev, his youth career as well. As we see this lovely goal that opened the scoring for Shabab Al Ahli, converted by Matthias Lima. Some nice 1-2 touch passing. The pick of them, surely Sada's assist for the Brazilian. A lovely dink. At the time the goal was scored, it came slightly against the run of play. Then we saw this beautiful equaliser from Akmal Mozgovoy. A mistake at the back from Walid Abbas. Just gave the ball to the Uzbek. And at that point, Nasaf surely thought they were getting a foothold in the game. Instead, 2 goals. Very little time from Sardar Azmoun. Means they are chasing, and Mozgovoy leading the charge once again. Cesar. Mateus Lima joining Sardo and dropping very deep. Juma into Gomez. Santos out to Suleiman. Well, you can see Shabab Al Ahli just shading the possession in the early stages. Surely it was in favour of the Uzbek side. But they've settled down so nicely, Shabab Al Ahli, since taking the lead. And now they are showing why they are table toppers. Sada trying to find Mateus Lima again. Gaibuleyev eventually got it away, took his time, the 28-year-old. That man looking to steal in for his second of the game as well, keeping the Uzbek defence very much on their toes. The host side trying to find a 4th before the break. They've now scored 17 goals in their 6 games, looking to make it an average of 3 per match. Stanijevic tries to clear the pressure on the back line and eventually does so courtesy of that over-heavy challenge on Javahir Sidikov. Nice play in behind. Can they make it 2? Well, that was unselfish and that was beautiful. And Nasaf have their goal. And Marušić has reduced her ears on the stroke of half-time. And that was free-flowing football from the Uzbek champions. And didn't they take it very, very well. And Zoran Marušić has his 4th of the tournament. Look at this. Little step there, opened it up. Did wonder about offside, but you can see from there, he clearly isn't. That ball inside. Just put it on a plate for Marušić. And he wasn't going to miss from there. This 4 goals now from 4 appearances in the group stages for Marušić. He scored 2 against Shabab Al Ahli before on match day 2. And he's got 1 now on match day 6, and he'll be surely hoping to add to that tally. Well, what a first half it has been. And what finishing we've seen as well. And that will give Paulo Sousa and co a lot more to think about during the half-time break. And possibly give a boost as well to Nasaf's coach. I'm sure there's still time for more goals. They're in behind, almost a hint of handball by Mateus Lima there, spotted by the referee as well. Well, very inadvertent Certainly not on purpose, but every time Shabab Al Ahli have been coming forward in the last few minutes, they look like scoring. And on this occasion, they were thwarted by that, as said, unintended handball by Matthias Lima. They got us underway. The first half has absolutely flown by. Just over half the 3 additional minutes to go. I spoke earlier about Nasaf's poor defensive record. They just surely need to get into the break. Just a goal down if they're going to be able to build on some of their fine play. And they don't include that push by Bulayev. They took a short in the end despite putting the numbers forward. Saeed into his counterpart Sada. Cesar popping up on the right-hand side instead of the left, where he's been playing most of the game. Almost gets it back from Boualam. Cut out, and that'll be a goal kick, and surely the last meaningful play. What has been a very entertaining opening period. The Iranian official has seen enough and blows the whistle for half-time, and applause rings out inside the Rashid Stadium, and no wonder, because they've seen 5 goals in the opening period after Matthias Lima opened the scoring after 23 minutes. Nasaf drew level through a stunning strike from Akmal Mozgavoy, only for Sada, the man on your screen there, to score 2 goals in as many minutes before Zoran Marisic made it 3-2 just before half-time. Lots of thinking for Nasaf's hugely experienced coach, Uzikil Berdayev. What will we see in the second period after an opening 45 that absolutely flew by? And it's half-time in Dubai. It is Shabab Al Ahli 3, Nasaf of Uzbekistan 2.
والله احنا كفو جبناها.
So the team's coming back out into the Rashid Stadium for the second half of this game, the final one in Group D on match day 6. With, as said, the other game in the group between Kuwait SC and Al Hussein also ongoing at present, that game in Kuwait City. But at present, it is Shabab Al Ahli who are certain of going through as Group D leaders, given that they started a point ahead of Al Hussein and they just needed the 3 points today to be sure of going through to the round of 16 as one of the group winners and therefore one of the top seeds effectively. Sada has moved amongst the last to come out onto the pitch, the 29-year-old Iranian. He now has 14 goals in his 15 games in all competitions this season for Shabab. He also scored 7 for Iran this year, so in fine scoring form. And his brace in the 32nd and the 34th minute just took the game away from Nasaf, but they managed to claw their way back into it on the stroke of half-time. And will that give them a foothold to do more and come back into the game in what is their final match of the season, with the Uzbek League having ended in November, just 10 days or so ago. After clinching the title, Nasaf, they then proceeded to lose their remaining 3 games of the league championship. Pressure off perhaps minds went elsewhere. And by winning the league, they actually became the first club outside of Tashkent, the Uzbek capital, to take the title away from that city. Nasaf based in the city of Kashe. And they came into this battle off the run of 5 straight defeats, 3 in the league as well as 2 in the Champions League, and Marusic just cannot control that. He's always running, always making angled runs in behind the defence, and often well picked out by his teammates. And the 31-year-old, you always want a striker who's full of running, and the service precisely that. And he joined the club in January, but has got 14 goals so far. Cesar for Shabab into Sada on a hat-trick, of course. Plays it in, looking towards Boualam. He's put in some strong tackles. Boualam, the 19-year-old Moroccan. Abbas. Cesar to Suleiman, the right-back, who's high up the field. Sada. He tried to just flick it around the corner, Suleiman. Cut out, and Nasaf will have the throw. Well, he only stepped up from the reserves in July, did Boualam. It'll be fascinating to gather his thoughts playing at this level of competition in only his 2nd appearance for the club. But he's more than held his own so far. Now the other end, Nasrullah into Victor, just goes down a little easily, clashing with Saeed Zatolahi. Started every game, the Iranian. For Shabab, just using his strength, and then you can see the left forearm of Victor just wrapping itself around the legs of the Iranian. Cesar battling, good strength from him. manages to get the better of Ramatov. Well, he's proved a real nuisance, Yuri Cesar, the 24-year-old. It's only the second game in the group stages that he started, but he's appeared in all of them. And another on the pitch with flamenco connections, having come through the youth academy at the famous Brazilian club. So he just calms it down in the middle. Suleiman back to Santos. Suleiman under pressure. Well, he tried that flick a moment ago, it didn't come off, it did then, and then Sardar followed up in a similar style. Juma just keeps it ticking along in midfield. Brings it back from Santos. Juma again, lots of space for Shabab, so much that Suleiman is thinking about the shot. Well, he certainly doesn't score many. Saeed Suleiman. 10 appearances in the league so far this campaign. Just 1 assist from his 10 appearances. But he enjoyed the moment, a nice smile from the 25-year-old. Sardar keeping that alive, the ball straight out from defence, and looked for a moment as though it might come back Shabab Al Ahli's way. Cesar. Juma, I was expecting to see him play further forward, but he's just sat in the middle of the park. Juma, Cesar with Mateus Lima in the middle, so too Boualam. It's going to be I thought it was going to be a strike. It's Sardar, and he just can't get his shot away because it's instantly blocked. Here goes Juma, muscled off it. And Zulayev plays it out, and Marušić is in behind Santos. He just gets behind him then. Tries to play it in to Mozgovoy. Mozgovoy wants the foul. Nothing doing. And then on this occasion there is a clash, and Juma, the man down. An apology from Nasrulayev, but he, like the man behind him, Gaibulev, goes into the book. Well, there was the challenge that Nasaf didn't like, as Boualam came in from behind. And then Nasrulayev just clipping Juma. Santos. Juma again, nice little turn. And then wayward in possession. Stanijevic will pick it up. Golban will play it back. Sort of Moradov under a bit of pressure. And they managed to get it out. And Ramatov. Cesar just clipped as he danced and pirouetted away, but play on, says the referee. And Sardar looking to play it in for Boualam. Oh, what a moment that would have been for the youngster if he could have scored on his Champions League Two debut. Not to be. Nice pass again from Sardar. And the referee trudges over to Cesar. Clearly clipped as he took possession of the ball, just spinning away. And there Ramatov just a rake down the back heel of the 24-year-old ankle. You'll certainly feel that in the morning. Yuri Cesar. Good goalkeeping here. Came out really well to just close down the angles and just smother the attempt from Boualam. Not been the easiest of games for Ergashev. Come into the side and beaten 3 times by the break. But he did well on that occasion, the 25-year-old. He has some experience of playing in the Asian Champions League as well. Ergashev in the AFC Cup, the forerunner to this competition 3 seasons ago. Touch from, he was just trying to play it in, wasn't he? Mozgovoy. Cesar back on his feet. Stanijevic. It's nice from Sada to play it into Juma. He's just full of running, as you might expect for someone his age and just starting out in the game. So too this man Cesar. Santos at the end of his career, 32 years of age now. Abbas even older, at 39. And who actually played in the 2015 Champions League final for this club when it was pre-merger for Al Ahli. Suleiman under pressure from Nasrullayev. Ali will just look for Boualam. He's fairly clattered into by Bulayev, who doesn't take too many prisoners. On the left side of Nasaf's defence, the 28-year-old. And I imagine Paulo Sousa might like to see just another goal go in and a bit more of a cushion, so he can be sure of securing pole position in the group before he perhaps takes the opportunity to field other players who haven't seen too much playing time when the heat was on in the early stages of Group D. For now, though, Nasaf, despite the fact they are playing for pride, they're making a good go of it. Keeping Shabab keen for now. Suleiman, Boualam, Saeed, a little nutmeg there was it, plays it inside, looking for the on-rushing Mateus Lima, cut out by Guy Gulayev. I think that was the nutmeg on Nasrullayev. By Saeed, there's a Talahi, 75 caps for Iran. Both in recent World Cup qualifiers last month. Hugely experienced figure. Like this man, Boualam. Well, he really has seen it all before. For the record, this is his 406th game as Nasaf manager. He's won just over 200 of them, drawn just under 100 of them. And should they lose this, will also be the 97th defeat. His association with the club goes back even longer than his appointment in 2012, because he was actually the assistant coach between 2009 and 2012. He even had a brief spell as Uzbekistan caretaker manager in 2017. To say Nasaf is a club close to his heart would be an understatement when you factor in the fact that he played with the side in blue as well. Juma. Cesar. Saeed just played that a little waywardly, and Stanijevic picks it up. And then Victor, he just doesn't have the real physicality, so sometimes gets muscled off it a little bit too easily for his liking, I'd have thought, the 29-year-old. And some of the grabs that we've seen in the game. Suleiman. Okay, Bulev into Marusic, who lets fly and just past the upright. Rakan Ben Hali was diving. It was a nice first touch to set up the strike, and he hit it pretty ferociously, Marusic. And a couple of yards wide of goal, and it stays Shabab Al Ahli 3, Nasaf 2. Well, here are some of the changes coming from Paulo Sousa. We talked about the fact that he might be flooding some youngsters, but he's going to bring on some real experience. Luka Milivojevic, the former Crystal Palace player, in his early 30s, and most of the best years are behind him. Will be among the three coming on. Mateus Lima trying to work some magic down the right-hand side, but that'll be a goal kick to Nasaf. Also coming on, Sebastian Gonzalez, just 21 years of age, the central midfielder. And Milivojevic. Also joined by Bogdan Planic, also on with experience. So his race is run, Walid Abbas, and Planic comes on. Milivojevic assumes the armband as well. He will sit in midfield, the new captain. He'll be joined there by Gonzalez, former Ecuador youth international. Nice ball round the corner for Cesar to chase. Had to get a touch, did get a touch, but Cesar picks it up. The danger still not cleared. Sada. Okay, Bulev just taking it off his toes. And the first touch here for Bogdan Planic. Gomez just brought down as he set off in full flight. So Berdiev also thinking of changes for his side. Shabab Jagari amongst those warming up on their touchline. Would he be coming on when there's only a goal in it? Sada. It wasn't Sada. Excuse me, Gonzalez with an early strike. Moments after coming on. Chef. Well, that's risky. And quite courageous too. And Mateus Lima not for the first time today. Penalised for an infringement. Oh, fairly cool. Ubid Ergashev. Moscovoy. Almost coming back to him in a little bit of space. They're going to have a free kick instead, much to the displeasure of Igor Gomez. Victor, the player, clipped. Nice ball around the corner. It was a little bit too heavy. And he's got a little lucky there. Victor da Silva. There's Nasaf. This changes are moments away from happening. The free kick will be taken first. Swung in deep by Stanijevic and Milivojevic with the clearance. Sada just trying to get another move going. Gonzalez's run just stopped by Sidikov's outstretched foot. As Rulayev. Golban. So a chance to make the substitutions. And Victor among the trio who are coming off. He's replaced by Jabba Jagari, who was dropped for today's game. No surprise to see the 36-year-old Stanijevic also departing the field. And also coming on, Sardobek Baramov, who's a left winger, just 19 years of age. Nasaf, Murad, Abdi Ramatov. He's not hugely more experienced, just 21 years old. And number 8. Moscovoy. More confirmation, as you can hear on the stadium tannoy, about the players going off. Sidikov also joining Stanijevic and Victor in leaving the field for Nasaf. And it's the final minutes of the season for Nasaf. Their league campaign will resume, will get underway the new 2025 season in March next year. And this year's title success comes after finishing as runners-up in 2023. They've been knocking on the door in recent years. 2020 and 2017 they were also second in the league. They finally got over the line this time around. And one can only imagine that the off-season will be spent planning on how they can make an impact in the Champions League Elite next season, as they're coming forward now. Nasaf. Ramatov, been hugely involved today. Become more central. And he started the game on the right of midfield. Yuri Cesar's certainly been in the wars. Clattered into by Sultan Muradov, who got that wicked deflection for one of Sardar's goals. As Munas Dabour, the Israeli striker, gets ready to come on as well for Shabab Al Ahli. And this break of play might allow him to do exactly that. And Yuri Cesar, well, he might be relieved after all the little knocks he's had. He's done very well today, the left winger. Worked really hard. Good touches on the ball and good physicality as well. And he's replaced by this man, 32 years of age now. The former Israel international. 2 goals so far in the group stages, including scoring as a substitute last time out. Dabour. That goal against Al Hussein on match day 5 in stoppage time was the one that clinched Shabab Al Ahli's place in next year's knockout phase. Suleiman. Well, the next play on the league on Sunday, Shabab Al Ahli away to Hor Fakan. You can understand why Paulo Sousa will be keen to mix it up with his squad. It's time for Mateus Lima, but once again to the displeasure of the Iranian official. Bulayev, the man on the receiving end, he certainly likes to put it around Mateus Lima. But he's showing the other side of his game as well with that lovely dinked finish midway through the first half to open the scoring in this game, in case you joined us late. All the goals in the first half, Mateus Lima has said, giving Shabab Al Ahli the lead after 23 minutes before Akmal Mozgovoy curled home a stunning equaliser for Nasaf on the half hour, but then 2 goals in 2 minutes from Sada Azmoun. The Iranian international took the game away from Nasaf, who reduced the rears just on the stroke of half-time through Zoran Marušić after a lovely team goal. But few chances to speak of in this second period. Nasaf already eliminated before this game, match day 6. And Shabab Al Ahli on course to finish top of the group. Suleiman. It's fairly unorthodox play from Dabu, but it works. Sada on the run, doesn't get fouled by Mateus Lima, who draws the foul. And gets an apology as well from his opposite number. And he's already been booked, Guy Bulayev, so he does have to be careful. Instead, it's the coach of Nasaf who's gone into the book, the 53-year-old. An arm on the shoulder from the fourth official for Berdiev. They've only ever once gone through the group stages in the Asian Champions League, now the Asian Champions League Elite. And that was a couple of years ago for Nasaf when their run ended in the round of 16 at the hands of Al Shabab. That's the Saudi Arabian version, not the Emirati Shabab that we're watching now. That'll be the aim for next season for Berdiev and his charges. Lovely sweeping pass out to Nazrulayev. He plays it around the corner to Ramatov, who was off balance and slightly pushed as well, as he just knocked it into touch. It wouldn't surprise you if it was Mateus Lima with the physicality. Bobor, Abdi Holikov, another who's seemingly set to come on for Nasaf in the dying minutes of this historic campaign for them. They have won trophies and titles before the Uzbek side. They've won the Uzbek Cup 3 times in the last 3 years, 2021, 2022 and 2023, but they couldn't make it 4 in a row when FK and Ion won it this year. They also have some Super Cup titles. But the league title was the one they wanted, and they took dozens of coaches, took Tashkent, the capital, for the game that clinched their success early last month. Which means they will have the target on their back in the Uzbek Super League next season. Lovely turn from Ramatov. Plays it out to Nazrullayev again. Check inside. And with the work in the space, can they get the cross? And they can. But it's headed away by Gonzalez, the substitute. So Marusic will not be adding to his tally. His disappointment, no doubt. And there's a straight swap up top. Abdiholikov, 27 years of age, in the prestigious number 10 jersey. He's played every game of the group stages so far, having started half of them, but he's yet to find the back of the net. He did, though, set up Marusic's stoppage time winner against Shabab Al Ahli on matchday 2. And the Uzbeks nicked that game by 2-1. We're hoping to end on a high. Here he is, first touches for him. Gomez. Gonzalez. Ramatov just slowly coming forward as Moscovoy just opens it up. Switch of play again. And Suleiman doesn't get his angles right on the back pass, and that'll be a corner to Nasaf. And an opportunity for them to threaten from a set piece. They've had very few of them in the final third. And Suleiman just not getting his radar quite right. And the momentum was always going to take Rakan Al-Medhali off the pitch. Fede Cartavia waits to come on. Another who's been a regular in this campaign but rested today. Nasaf's first corner of the game. And the first corner of the game in general swung in, just enough on it to take it away. Nasaf trying to say they want more. The break on here for Shabab Al Ahli. Led by Sada into Boualam, chance to make it 4, and super save from Ergashev, who again comes out smartly to deny the young Moroccan. There was a lovely weighted pass from Sada. Boualam just had to find a way past Ergashev, all from the Nasaf corner. That's the ball in. They're claiming that it hit the elbow of the defender. The left elbow, look at this, it's Sadar's hand. And just imagine the anger in the Uzbek camp if Sadar had then teed up Boualam for a 4th from Shabab Al Ahli. Well, he had the right idea, Boualam trying to lift it over the keeper, but he came out with such speed, Ergashev. And he completely stopped Boulam's effort, needed more height on it, but the right idea from the youngster. He'll be able to look back on the second half far more fondly than the first, Ergashev. Well, their work is done and they can look forward to some holidays. A fair few players in the Nasaf squad, not actually in the matchday squad today, possibly having gone home early. Well, Mateus Lima set us on the way in the first half with his 4th goal of the campaign. And on comes Fede Cartavia. He's often captained the side in the games he's played. Hugely experienced figure who was born in Argentina but moved to Spain when young and played nearly a decade in the Spanish league football system, including over 100 appearances in La Liga. Won caps at youth level for the South Americans, Argentina, but never for the full senior team. He'll be looking to add to the goal he scored earlier in the group stages against Al Kuwait, Kuwait Sporting Club, Kuwait SC. He's only got 10 minutes to do it. 10 minutes separating Shabab Al Ahli from going through as group winners, unless Nasaf, who've scored 2 really good goals so far, one an individual effort and one a flowing team move, can find a third. Sada ushered forward, does well to hold on to it and win the physical contest, and then just a little heavy touch there that was unintended. Nasaf the opportunity to break, but they've lost possession as well. Well, as they are continental glory, Shabab Al Ahli, they can no doubt look back at pride this weekend with how one of their former players did. Igor Jesus, very, very young. Only left the club in July. And by October, he was not only starting for Brazil in World Cup qualifiers, but this weekend, Gosgon, he won the Copa Libertadores, the South American Championship with Botafogo. Their first ever title, all achieved as he was plucked by the very old Brazilian team. From Emirati football. And he's been a sensational signing for them as Shabab Al Ahli trying to come forward again, trying to get Cartavia in Argentine, of course. Done well to keep it in over on the far side, Baramov. He's his first minutes of the group stages, the 19-year-old. He may have come late, but he'll be relishing the moment. So, chance to come forward for Abdi Holikov. Just runs into a brick wall in front of him. Golban opening it up. Moscovoy, well, making his feelings clear about that intended pass to him, and now he's ushering instructions as well. Gomez just slowing it down. see the offside call again. 2 players arguably offside for the Uzbeks. Shabab Al Ahli started this season's Asian club football in the Champions League Elite qualifying round. Only to lose there, of course. There were just 5 teams bidding for 2 places. They managed to beat Sepahan of Iran in the first preliminary round, but then were beaten by Qatar's Al Harafa in the second. Their first appearance in this level of Asian club competition. And they'll be desperate to come away with their first Asian silverware. Al Ain, their great rivals back home. The reigning Asian champions. I'm sure their fans would have something to counter Al Ain's efforts with if they could go much further in this competition once the knockout phases get underway next year. This is Bahadur Halilov, who will be coming on. Well, Ramatov has been one of the better players for Nasaf today. Started on the right-hand side before moving central after the substitutions and changes were made, and looked equally adept in both positions. Clearly feeling the effects of end of a full campaign. Bulayev, over 200 appearances for Nasaf since joining the club in 2017. Just the 1 cap for Uzbekistan in all that time, though. And he scored as well, the defender, but that was in December last year. Never called back. Nice little touch around the corner. Sadar still on a hat-trick, of course. Kartabia can't be fed in. All very scrappy and tight in there, but Shabab Al Ahli bring it away. Here is Kartabia, lovely little touch from him into Debour. And then Debour just trying to find his way past a very tight defence, managing not to do so. Yeah, the first half, I said, was full of goals. They've been very hard to come by in this second period. And these sides between them are not averse to late goals and stoppage time efforts, so don't rule one out. Shabab Al Ahli have scored in stoppage time in the last 2 games in this competition, and that's something that Uzbekistan's Nasaf have done in some of their games as well in the group. Nice little dip of the shoulder from Bulayev. Time running out for the men in blue to find an equaliser to end their campaign on a relative high. Early managed to avoid defeat twice in the group, so seemingly heading for their 4th defeat out of 6, unless they can do something in the few minutes remain and the stoppage time that we wait to see how long will be added on. Kartabia, a little tug there by the substitute on his fellow substitute. Gonzalez just pulled back by Jagauri. Fairly needless from the 32-year-old Georgian. This is Gonzalez's debut for Nasaf. Been on the bench twice before, once in the league and once in this competition, but never came on. And he joined the club at the end of October. And here he is on the ball. Seeing some suggestions that his playing style is equivalent to Busquets, the great Busquets of Barcelona. I'm not quite sure they're saying that he's going to play like him. It's just or as good as him, but the stars are similar. Kartabia looking to dink it in, but just not enough height on it. And Sardar's shoulders just shrunk a little as he was hoping to find the chance that would give him his third goal and his hat-trick. With Diholikov dispossessed. Gonzalez. Paulo Sousa will be very pleased to have played the likes of Juma, just 18 years of age, Boualam, 19. Give a debut to Gonzalez, as well as seemingly go through as the group winners. 4 minutes for them to hold on Shabab Al Ahli. Don't forget a late equaliser here from Nasaf. Could change everything. Only as long, though, as Al Hussein beat Kuwait SC in the group's other game. Good game management from Shabab. They just use up the minutes by holding onto the ball, spreading it around. Paulo Sousa certainly known for his passing play, the vision, a deep-lying playmaker. I'm sure he'll be very happy with some of the possession football that he's seen from his side. Ergashev goes long. The changes really have altered the complexion of this game quite considerably. It's lost a bit of its way and its shape and its rhythm. And this time Jigari, the moment he goes down, every time he penalised for a foul. Gomez, he certainly has a word with the referee, or a look that says that nothing was wrong. Just over 2 minutes to go, and hence a little bit more frustration or nerves on the face of the Portuguese coach Paulo Sousa. Swung into the box by Nasaf. Up goes Golban. Jigari with a touch. He just cleared away. Almost anywhere will do time from the men in white. Nazrulayev. Jigari. Moscovoy opens it up. Nasaf knocking on the door. Well, they're not, because it was fairly industrial from Boualam, and he's gone into the referee's notebook, and a few complaints there. Well, he's not exactly the most thick-set Yassine Boualam, but he's shown that he's not afraid to put his weight around. And now it's about whether Shabab Al Ahli can defend this free kick if they are to maintain group supremacy. Just over a minute to go in their 6th and final game in Group D. Nasrulayev standing over the free kick. 32 assists in his career for Nasaf from just under 170 games. Can he make another one in the seconds that remain? Well, the referee unhappy. Milivojevic clearly having some words. Joined Shabab last year, the central midfielder, after many years in the Premier League with Crystal Palace. Swung in and headed on, but headed over, and that'll be a goal kick to Shabab Al Ahli. And is that the final throw of the dice from Nasaf? It's not exactly as if Shabab Al Ahli have been under any sort of sustained pressure in this second period, but a set-piece delivery in stoppage time is always cause for concern, especially when so close to the box, and you can see that on the face of Paulo Sousa. And now it's about when the referee is going to blow his whistle, and right on cue, that is exactly what he's done. And Shabab Al Ahli of the United Arab Emirates have finished top of Group D. They finished with 13 points on the group, courtesy of beating Nasaf 3-2 this evening. The Uzbek side finishing bottom with just 4 points from their 6 games. But Shabab Al Ahli will be one of the seeded sides in next week's draw for the Champions League Two knockout stages. And all the goals scored in the first half, and what was a hugely entertaining opening period. Mateus Lima opening the scoring for Shabab Al Ahli midway through, before Akmal Mozgaboy levelled matters up with a stunning curling strike. And then Sada Azmoud, who had made the first goal for Shabab Al Ahli, scored their second and their third, before Zoran Marušić reduced arrears just before half-time for Uzbekistan's Nasaf, who have finished their season, a historic one for them, where they won their first ever league title. But for Shabab Al Ahli, there is plenty more work to do when the knockout stages of the Asian Champions League Two get underway in February. And Paulo Sousa will be eyeing the trophy, and he'll be delighted with his evening's work. It's ended at the Rashid Stadium in Dubai. Shabab Al Ahli 3, Nasaf of Uzbekistan 2.